Hello and welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can use the TextFabric environment in order to answer the questions of the exam section of BibleSoftware Lab number 3, as you can find it in the Learning Hub of Andrews University. This is a lab that is highly recommended for anybody who is taking an exegesis course in the New Testament department. So let's have a look at the task. How often does the word Scotia appear in the Gospel? Search the Greek New Testament Nestle version. So let's fire up the TextFabric Web App, TF, and then it's center BLC, Nestle 1904. There is some calculations. Some calculations are happening here in the background, and here is our web app run locally. I'm just organizing my screens a little bit to easier swap between question and task. Already good. The question is, how often does the word Scotia appear in the Gospels? Okay, good. So we are looking for a word with the lemma Scotia, but I like to write in transliteration. It just makes it easier. I don't have to swap between Greek and English keyboards. So this is possible by using the feature lemma translit. Here we go. Lemma translit is Scotia. So you can pretty much just write it out in the way how it sounds in Latin letters. So let's see whether we are successful. Here we are, Scotia. So we are good. How often does the word Scotia appear in the Gospels? Well, we could probably just do a count here. You know, the word Scotia appears only 17 times. So that means it appears 11 times in the Gospels and then in 1 John a couple of more times. But to, do this nicely and correct, we could say the book is Matthew or Mark or Luke or John. And this is handy if you would have had many more results, not just 17. And then of course you want to narrow it down and allow yourself to have a cleaner result that corresponds to the question that was actually asked here. So let's run this query and we should get our 11 cases. Let's see. Here we are, 11 cases. We can save our query. Let's do this. Actually, let's call this query BibleSoftware Lab number 3 Greek and question number 1. So, okay. So you see now we have this stored as a job, a query job. Let's now copy paste this or duplicate this. Duplicate this query and then call this number 3, number 2. Right? We want to go now to the next question, number 2. So come on, is it already there? No. Okay, duplicate it, number 2. Okay, here we go. So what's the question? Which New Testament book has the this is an error. Let's fix that right away. Has. Here we go. Save changes. Okay, which New Testament book? It's not reflected. I don't know why. Anyway, has the most instances of participle feminine singular forms, any tense of the verb lego. Okay, so we're only looking for a word. That means word lemma translit, and I want to write again in transliteration, and the word is lego, so that should be a simple one. Let's look. Yeah, lego. There are more than 2,000 cases of the word lego in all its inflections and conjugations, but the task here is the participle feminine singular forms. Okay, so we want participle. That would be a mood, right? Mood is participle, and then feminine, it would be gender. Gender is feminine. And then number would be a singular. So I now just typed out these things, but I need to make sure that they actually match with the feature set and the values of the Nestle 1904 database. In order to make sure that I'm writing it correctly, I go to Corpus, and here you see the feature doc. The feature doc really shows you all the features that the database has. We are looking actually for word features, so let's go for the feature word, and then I just use the search possibility of the browser. So we are searching for a participle that was mood, right? So let's see, do we have mood is here. Oh, we don't need to abbreviate it, it's MOOD. Let's see what the values are for mood. The values are imperative, indicative. Oh, here we have the participle. So there's no abbreviation needed. So mood, participle, that should work. Let's look for gender. I guess gender is also not abbreviated. We can just write it out. Gender, and what are the values? Feminine, also not abbreviated. Nice. So, and then number is the last one. Number, also not abbreviated. I guess then the value of the number is also not abbreviated. Yeah, plural, singular, fine. So we should be good actually then. Lemma, translate Lego, mode, participle, mood, participle, gender, feminine, number, singular. Let's run the query. We have 45 cases. And we should search the entire, New Testament. But you see, we have only 4 options to select from. So why not just narrow this down and use book is Matthew or Luke or Acts or Revelation. And let's run the query. So it's 35 cases, so still quite a bit. Well, let's make it easy. How many do we have in Matthew? 9 cases. How many do we have in Luke? 5 cases, so Matthew wins. How many have in Acts? 8 cases, so Matthew is still on top. And then Revelation, 30 cases. So Revelation it is. Good. That was our second question. Let's move to the last question. And we can duplicate here again and have this question 3. Okay, good. So what's the question? Search for all cases in the New Testament where eirene, peace, is followed directly by apo. Okay, so eirene, apo. Look at search results. At your search results, from whom does peace usually come from? So eirene, peace, from. Okay, so this is about word orders. So we are looking for 2 words. Word lemma translate is eirene. So I'm wondering whether I'm writing this correctly. So word, and the other one should be easy. Lemma translate is apo. Sorry. Let me see whether, now we have 2 words. We need to obviously define the relationship between these words. We want this one to be first and apo to be second. So the way how I like to do this is word 1 and then word 2. To the computer that doesn't mean anything. You could just also write, A and B, or A and V2, so W2. So these are just placeholders, but they help me to now define the relationship between these 2 words. So W1, word 1, should appear before word 2, right? So this is the sign that we're using for identifying the order. So W1 is smaller, or is before W2. But this is not the only thing. It says here followed directly by a apo, so no other word is allowed to be in between. Therefore, we are using here this colon. The colon tells you that at the boundary of word 1, word 2 has to follow right away. Let's see whether this query works. I'm a little bit skeptical about the way how I wrote eirene, but let's see. We are successful. So we have 14 results in total. But you see, that's not the question really that's being asked. It says that we should look at our search results. From whom does peace usually come from? In order to answer that question, we could, of course, now look at all 14 cases. So, for example, here, peace comes from the brothers, right? To Nadelphon. Or what was the other one? Romans. Peace comes from the God, from God. Or let's look for another one. Peace comes from God. Well, we could now go through all single cases, or we just add another word, namely word number 2, and we are not going to define it. Just, any lemma we allow. Word number 3. And we want that word number 3 to follow right after word number 2. That allows us now to highlight the probably noun that is being governed by the preposition apo. So we will actually see the phrase. So let's run this. Here, teo. It's pretty clear. So, okay, usually it comes from God. From God. Well, from God the Father, there could be an apposition involved as well. So let's see whether there might be a fourth word governed by this. So from God is definitely true, but perhaps there's an apposition from God the Father. So let's see whether we can catch the Father here as well. No, it's not. Oh yeah, it is Patros, Father. Yeah. God, Father, God the Father, God the Father, God the Father. So that is the right answer. So it's never peace from God, but from God the Father. So the right answer is from God the Father. Okay, and that was question number 3. You see here we have our queries nicely stored. We could shift between them. 1, 2. It also remembers whether we opened some of those tabs here. And question number 2. So now they're closed. Yeah, so this is the way how you can use the TextFabric Web App to answer your query questions. I hope that was helpful. See you.